reminds me of
springs
like
under there, I think.
like a spy cartoon where they're like going around a building.
Jenny. Amy.
I don't know why.
Okay, I saw on Facebook Sarah SJM's first ever self-bio before Front Glass even came out. So I wanted to read it to you guys.
Oh, yeah. Give it to us.
Hi, I'm Sarah, a writer of YA fantasy novels. My debut novel, Throne of Glass, a YA fantasy trilogy centered on retelling of Cinderella, will be published by Bloomsbury in fall 2012.
Throne of Glass is based on
Cinderella?
Since completing Throne of Glass, I've written 3 different YA fantasy series: A Faraway Land, a 2-book series steeped in the legends surrounding fairy godmothers; Hades, a 2-book series that retells the popular Greco-Roman mythology; and A Court of Thorns and Roses, a trilogy that blends together the tales of Beauty and the Beast, Tamlin, and East of the Sun, West of the Moon.
Trilogy, my eye.
Mm-hmm.
Trilogy.
Do you know the story of Tamlin?
No.
Okay, so now I need to read this to you.
Lore dump.
Okay.
In the most lore dump episode ever.
Mm-hmm.
The story of Tamlin is a Scottish fairy ballad about a mortal knight captured by the Queen of the Fairies, who is rescued by a brave woman named Janet. Bound by a spell, Tamlin is forced to serve the fairy queen and faces sacrifice as a tithe to hell on Halloween. Through true love and steadfast courage, Janet pulls him from his horse, holding on through terrifying transformations to free him.
Interesting. Is SJM have like a Scottish background? Because the Morrigan is also Celtic.
Scottish, yeah.
Yeah. Is Celtic Scottish or Irish?
Oh, Andrew and I also got into it about that.
About being Celtic?
Because I was saying that Irish is a language that is its own language. And he was like, well, it's Gaelic. And I was like, I think that's different. I think there's Irish and then there's Gaelic. And he was like, no. And anyway, it's like we're both kind of right. It's like a dialect thing. Anyways, we got into like Scottish, Celtic.
She's not Scottish.
She's not. She's not. Okay, everyone's living
A lot
that.
of people like that type of like fantasy and like their fairy tales and stuff because they are like usually very beautiful. Sometimes a bit like dark and cryptic, which is interesting.
We'll also say that in the Tamlin story, he's transformed like constantly into different creatures and animals, not of his own will.
A furry Kool-Aid man, perhaps.
Interesting. Throne of Glass as a Cinderella retelling? In what?
Of Cinderella.
In what way?
I mean, I guess she like rises from like the salt mines, but like she doesn't have to prove herself. She just like goes to the ball and he like picks her. I find that odd. Also, I mean, I guess there's like a bit of like identity, like no one really knows who she is until she's like, I don't know.
The beauty
That seems like a stretch.
Yeah, like I'm like Throne of Glass, the glass slipper. Like I'm seeing elements, but a retelling feels.
Who is her fairy godmother in that book? Like she just gets shit kicked the whole time. Also, she sleeps with Cole and then breaks up with Cole and then she kills that other guy like in the sewers, and then Dorian, she thinks she likes him, but then he falls in love with that other girl who dies.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Interesting.
So then East of the Sun, West of the Moon is a Norwegian fairy tale about a young woman who rescues an enchanted prince from a troll witch who is a bear. He's a bear. After breaking a taboo by looking at his face, she must embark on a perilous journey to a far castle to win him back, often aided by the 4 winds.
And this is A Court of Thorns and Roses?
So these are the 3 she's saying: Beauty of the Beast, Tamlin, and East of the Sun, West of the Moon.
Okay, like she has to go on a journey.
And she's also saying it's a trilogy.
Oh, and she has to save, like the last one you said, she has to save the guy. So that, like, Feyre has to go save Tamlin.
The girl travels aided by east, west, north, and south winds and uses magical items to win her prince back.
I mean, I guess like the winds could kind of be like the courts and like,
Sure.
all right, SJM.
Anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There.
Really.
Also, like, so fascinating that Throne of Glass. Do you think she was saying like it was supposed to be a trilogy or that it currently was a trilogy?
I think she said ACOTAR was a
She
trilogy.
said, so
Oh.
Throne of Glass, a YA fantasy trilogy centered on the retelling of Cinderella.
Yeah.
And then she said, since completing Throne of Glass. So she was saying it was completely
That it was
finished.
so good that it was done.
After Heir of Fire?
Yeah. She's saying it was a trilogy.
Unless like she didn't write them in that or in the release order.
Yeah.
Like maybe she wrote like Throne of Glass, then like I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you would skip.
And then, yeah, she says The Court of Thorns and Roses is a trilogy as well.
And that's also interesting because like if she didn't write them in release order, her writing style, I would say, especially in Throne of Glass, is so different from Throne of Glass to Kingdom of Ash.
Mm-hmm.
Like it grows up a lot.
A ton. Yeah.
And like they get darker, I would say.
It does like a Harry Potter. Like,
Yeah.
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 Interesting.
Huh. How did you stumble across
I
that?
literally came up on my Facebook, like one of the book club Facebook groups.
Yeah.
And someone was like, oh my God, I found this like old biography from SJM before she released literally any of her novels. So
Stop. So she'd written them, but they hadn't been.
released.
Did she self-publish them first, I wonder? Like
by Bloomsbury. It says
Oh,
in
okay.
fall 2012 for Throne of Glass.
Wow. She had written all of those.
Yes. So Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, A Faraway Land, which is apparently a 2-book series.
Have you even heard of that?
no,
It's a 2-book series as well.
I haven't heard of
No.
Hades or Faraway Land.
maybe they didn't get published.
I wonder. Interesting. Now I want to look up those books. Hades sounds good. I like.
I like Greek
Well,
mythology.
Yeah.
That's why I originally liked Blood and Ash because it has a bit of like the gods and the mount, like you know, and then just the levels and all that. Sort of
Yes.
It says it was never published.
Hades
Oh.
was.
Yeah, and then what was the other one? Faraway Land.
We got a big episode today.
real big.
Jamie and I are also wearing very specific outfits because we are channeling our inner Feyre in the mountain cottage in her
Painting.
painting in her cozy little sweater and her black tights.
Mhm.
I was like, I thought about even bringing like a paintbrush, like sticking it in my ponytail.
Full
full
been cute.
full comic expo.
Lucas's sister-in-law has started listening to podcasts. She loves it. She is like recommending it to everyone.
Yay!
Brother said every time she gets in the car, the first thing is playing. Yeah.
Hello, Lucas's
Very, very funny.
Sister?
sister-in-law. What's her name?
Oh my God, Ash.
Ash. Like short for
Well,
Ashley or just Ash? Ashlyn.
Ashlyn.
Hi, Ashlyn. Welcome to the cult, babe.
Yes, this is another sister.
Oh, another member of the court.
Welcome. Okay, I feel like we should get going because
Yeah,
it's like
definitely.
Long
it's
day.
oh yeah.
She begged. Not that we're keeping track of size or anything.
Just wingspan.
Hi, babe.
Hi, babe.
I'm Jamie,
And I'm Jessica,
and welcome to A Court of Books and Babes.
a podcast where two best friends review, react to, and rate our and soon to be your favorite fantasy books.
Okay, so quick update on everything that we're reading
Yep.
or watching. I have like a dozen chapters left in
Alchemized.
I just feel it.
Like, what do you mean? Like, you feel this, like, whatever this great, horrible, sad thing is coming, or like,
Yes.
oh,
Oh no.
Like
don't-
they're setting you up.
don't spoil it for me.
Well, I mean, it's obvious when you read the chapters.
Is it?
Like it's not like I know how or when or what is going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
but the setup is there,
Okay.
and I'm like crushed.
Are you still going to be heartbroken even though you know it's coming?
Yes, yes.
What
Yes.
is what?
In Friends, when Joey is reading Little Women,
Oh.
it's ruined for him, and he's this is really sick.
Oh, it's horrible. I still can't. Every time I read Little Women, every time I watch any of the movies or I go and I see the play,
You know what's coming.
every time I'm like, maybe this time Beth won't die. Maybe maybe this. Okay, also spoiler for Little Women. If you haven't, the book that's like, I was gonna say it's like very old.
Love Little Women.
Jamie.
I'm like a bit meh about it. Like it's good, and I've read it, and I think the movies are good, but like
Love the
I've never
2019.
rewatched it.
2019 Little Women is like one of my favorite movies.
I love all the movies. I adore the book.
So good.
Yeah. Oh,
Classique.
yes, and I read have you read the other ones like Joe's
I
Boys?
read Little Men.
Okay, yeah.
Little
mhm.
Men and Joe's Boys. I think when I was quite young. I think I was 8 or 9.
Mom had them in the house, so yes. Yeah. There's other ones that I want to read by Louisa May Alcott. She has one about like cousins and stuff that's supposed to be quite good, and I adore her. She's so good.
Yeah, I'm like it's not like I don't like it, but I'm
Yeah.
not like I'll probably never reread it or like rewatch the movies. I'm kind of like, yeah,
He says
Jessica's
it's fair.
right.
I'm like, disagree. So
we are
good.
not aligned.
Not aligned.
So yes, Alchemized. I just don't even know what to say. There are no words.
I'm on chapter like 9 or something. So yeah, here's the problem. I'm exhausted perpetually. And so I'm listening because I'm also rereading Crescent City. I'm on book 2. So I read Crescent City and then I listen to Alchemized. And so I make it like, I don't know. I feel like I make it 7 seconds and then I'm like sawing logs, but I am slowly making progress.
Is this still on the Spotify credits?
It is using my Spotify, but I'm still under the number of listening hours. I haven't had, it wasn't like with Night Prince where I used them all up and then I was like, what am I gonna do? And I was like, well, just buying more, I guess. But I also have an Audible account, which is better, but I also, you get like
the books.
Exactly.
Or
So
like, yeah.
but I actually think as of today, I can like get the book. So I'm going to go get it on Audible. That way I don't run into that issue. Anyways, I am liking it so far, but I would agree with what you said at the beginning that it's very hard to describe to people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the world and just the way they are, like the characters. You're like, also because you have no backstory of anything that's like currently happening. So you're like,
what's going on?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Yeah. Okay. Anything else you've read?
No,
just that.
Just that and Mist and Fury.
And then what are you bringing when you go on vacation? Because you're obviously going to write the Mitch album.
Probably Brimstone.
Ooh, okay. I'm excited to hear your take on Brimstone because that was such a polarizing book.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you said it was like, you weren't like, morally opposed to
I
it.
know,
like most people are like,
exactly.
this book.
We're like, I know. I'm like, what does this book do to you? Like,
yeah, exactly.
no, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I think you will too.
And again, Kingfisher. What's not to love?
Woo. Yeah. Continue to be a big fan of his.
Is he the one that it's always the clip where it's like introduce you to all 7 gods?
Yeah.
He says?
Okay. Yeah.
When they're in the house, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sure
Why
is.
don't you tell me more about that part?
Well, speaking of, we're going to have a lot of those
Yes,
today
yes.
because today is the infamous, the much anticipated
Iconic, some may say.
chapter 54 and 55
Mhm.
for very different reasons.
Yes.
But
But what are you reading first? You just said
that's it.
That's
Alchemized.
it.
Well, Alchemized and then Crescent City
Right.
2. I'm about a third of the way through Crescent City 2. And without giving away spoilers, I will just say justice for Therian. Like he is a character in that series that I feel like does not get his comeuppance in a good way. And I also feel, you know what he is? I think he's their Lucian.
I was just gonna say, is
He's
he
their
Lucian?
Lucian. He's like a little, like quite endearing. He calls he's not the main love interest, and he calls the female protagonist. So he's a like a merman, but he can transform into like goes out of the water and then he can have legs.
Oh my gosh, it's Little Mermaid's dream.
Yes. But he calls the like main girl, the main female, he calls her legs. He's like, hey, legs. And there's just something. Bryce. He calls Bryce legs. And there's something about that I just find so, I don't know. I love him, but I also feel like he's their Lucian. Like
maybe book 4.
Oh, yes. I remember finishing it and being like, Therian. And now I'm like, book 4. Okay. Maybe he's going to get the arc that I'm hoping for him. So that's the only thing is I'm reading that and I'm just like, like this poor guy just can't catch a break.
But book 2 is not, like, is it your least favorite of the 3?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caitlin said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, book 2. Well,
Yeah. It's a real slog. But the last page of that book is like, no, I know it sounds ridiculous.
Right, I'll just read the last page.
I know it sounds ridiculous. Caitlin and I were talking about that. I'm like, oh my God. Not even just the last page, the last line of the last page. You're like, oh, it's so good. Okay. Shall we? It is time to talk lore, lust, and loose morals as we unpack adventures, escape to new worlds, and, of course, swoon over our best book boyfriends.
Babes, secure your heart and stretch your emotional range because this episode is not here to be gentle. We're diving into chapters 50 through 59 of A Court of Mist and Fury. Yes, those chapters. And if you know what lives at chapter 54,
Oh my God.
you already understand why we're asking you to hold on to your feelings with both hands.
Maybe like your feet. Just like
Your toes.
with everything.
Spoilers are not being rationed. The conversation roams freely across the entire Maasverse, including ACOTAR, Crescent City, and the Throne of Glass. If you're reading along but not there yet, this episode will ruin you. If you are, stay. We've been waiting.
Welcome. This podcast has all of our favorite R words: romance, racy, risque, and, of course,
A hell of a lot of RHYSAND.
wee wee. As such, it is rated R. Please listen accordingly.
We'll kick off every episode with Babes Between the Lines.
Where we read what's written. Oh, I did it again. It always
just read what's written.
We did. This is just actually a recitation of the book. Where we read what's written, obsess over what isn't,
And dig past the let.
Your turn.
Right. Dig past the dialogue so you don't miss the magic, motives, or mistakes. Be kind, gentle listeners. We did our best to give these chapters justice.
Oh my gosh. Chapter 54, as I was going through, I was like, I feel like I need a spreadsheet. I need a timeline. Like, it was hard to not just want to quote the whole thing. There's a lot.
55 too. I'm like, well, should I just like photocopy the pages and like
Just hold them up to the camera. All right, let's do it. Feyre spends the night half asleep, half on vigilant guard, listening to the sounds of the nearby beasties snarling as they pass the mouth of the deep, dark cave. In the morning, Rhys has still not woken, and when Feyre presses a hand to his brow, she feels the unmistakable heat of a fever. Over the ensuing hour, his skin grows paler, clammier. This is like, I just couldn't help but think about that this is in reverse of her with the fever under the mountain and how he has to save her. And he's like kind of snarly and angry and they're like, eh. And this is like same thing. She has to save him and then she's all like pissed at him later. It's like,
which I'm like, madam, why?
we get into it a little bit, but yeah. As Jamie would say, there's the quick and the dead.
Yes.
So Feyre bundles Rhys's chilled body and heads out, cloak in hand and full huntress mode activated. She lays her familiar trap and waits. Soon enough, a loud crack lets her know she's been successful. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming back a fan favorite, the surreal is caught. God, I love him so much. Have you seen those TikToks where it's the clip from Modern Family and it's the eldest daughter, and she's like, yeah, he's kind of weird. And then Gloria's like, no, he is wonderful and you will miss him when he's gone. And it's like people about the surreal when you have a red. It's like, yes, literally. Don't talk about him like that.
Also, okay, is the surreal one creature? I thought it was like a race.
No, I think he's just one.
I
thought.
think, I don't know, to be honest.
catch-
I was thinking, like,
They say catch a surreal.
So I think there are multiple, yeah.
I was thinking like, oh, there's the water race. It's many. And then there's like
Only one in
The
our heart.
surreal? I don't know. It's a good question.
But the dog, is that just one?
What about the adder?
See, this is my question.
I feel like the surreal though is so like powerful and mythic and whatever that maybe just one. I don't know.
Yeah.
A sham? We do love you. Sarah Curse Breaker. I'm not going to do the voice, but I had to do it just once.
Yeah.
It croaks. What fascinating changes a year has wrought on you, the world. Are we okay? What was that?
Momo jumping.
Momo. Has it ever? She tells the surreal she has questions. He's like, yeah, no,
Same.
like no shit, Sherlock. Like, why else am I here? She asks what poison was used on the arrows that pierced Reese, and he tells her it was bloodbane. When she asks where she can find the cure, he tells her it can be found, quote, in the forest. Like, for fuck's sake.
Thanks, Tip.
Like, seriously. This time, Feyre is not having someone sidestep her questions and demands he be more specific. No pivoting. The surreal, sensing that the curse speaker is having a bit of a day, tells her she just needs to feed RHYSAND some of her blood and he will be well. Okay, what is this? Like, is it because she has, who is it? Who's the healer?
Healing. I thought it was
Uh,
Summer.
really, Tarquin? Oh, no, that's Day. Summer.
No,
Helium?
Tarquin is day.
No, Tarquin is Summer.
Oh, then not Summer. I thought
Dawn?
Let's just go through it. Try and match them to the
Morning,
highlights.
evening, night.
Yeah.
Okay,
Someone
it's one of those,
has
right? And
healing
that's why.
powers.
Okay, I was like,
And
what
maybe
is this?
Helium, but I thought his was more like spell
Yes,
breaking.
I think it's the one. What's his name? And they go to his court, and that's where they have the big meeting.
Winter,
Dawn.
Dawn.
I think it's the Dawn court. Anyway,
Oh, the TV also does not know. It's
TV.
the clock spinning for us to figure it
I was
out.
like, do 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 do. Come on, girls, get there faster. Feyre thanks the surreal, and he adds on that a pink flower that grows by the river will help speed her mate's healing. And there
Surreal.
it fucking is. Mate. Feyre does a double take, a triple take, a la Sabrina Carpenter. What? The surreal, realizing, repeats it, and those words begin to spin circles in Feyre's head. She asks the surreal if RHYSAND knows, and he confirms. And this is the wound that he knew. That once again he chose to withhold information from Feyre. He had promised not to lie, to keep things from her, and this is quite possibly the most important piece of the puzzle that is her new life, and he kept it from her. Jamie has thoughts.
I don't think she should have been so mad at him.
That he didn't tell her.
No, like what was he supposed to do? The day one when she arrives in the night court, be like, she throws her shoe at him, and he's like, "Hey, guess what? We're mates."
Hey!
She's like,
We're gonna be together forever.
"Yeah, like that would be so weird."
Yeah. And he does, like, and we'll get into it. Also take a shot every time Jamie and Jessica say, we get into it.
We'll get to it.
He does like talk about that, and she obviously is like, oh, okay. But I think in this moment, like, first off, she is in like, we talk about like fight or flight mode. Like, she's not, not all of her brain is being accessed right now. Like, she's very much like a 4-year-old having a tantrum. Like, she's just in survival mode. And so I think she's just is like, what do you mean? And then also they'd had these moments recurring throughout their relationship, right? Of like him keeping things, him thinking he knew best. And yes, in this moment, she doesn't have the context of like why he will explain to her why he did this. So I understand.
Still don't think she should be mad.
Like at all?
I mean, why is she mad, first of all? Let's just say. Someone said to me,
lie of omission.
RHYSAND is your mate. I'd be like, oh, hot fucking dog. Here we go. Like, I would be like, I'm mad. Why did you tell me? Like, I mean, I do understand, like, why she's like, he withheld information. But again, it's like, what was he supposed to do? Like I said, on day one, just be like, hey, we're mates.
Yeah.
You must live with me forever. That feels very like Tamlin-y.
At manipulative. And
Yes.
he says that. And she's like, yeah, you're right. But in this moment, she's not there. Like, it's like that country song, like, I just want to be mad for a while. Like, she needs
Okay,
to just, like,
Feyre.
feel her feelings.
Yeah, but then when he withholds the pregnancy, she's like,
Totally fine.
she's like, I'm mad. It's fine.
I will say SJM is really good at that. Like, if a character has a fatal flaw, that flaw is not going anywhere. Like, this is a RHYSAND flaw. He thinks he knows best. And almost unfortunately, he is usually right. And so there's this like degree of arrogance and like, I'm doing it for the right reasons and I know what's best. And if everyone could just trust me in the end, I'll be right and we'll all be happy.
Him and Aelin could be besties.
I mean, right? but like in the interim, it's this feeling of like, and that's what she says is she's like, okay, you can have these schemes and these plans, but like, get me in the know. Like, I don't want to be a pawn. I want to be with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I see both sides.
Fine.
Feyre finds the flower and stalks back to the cave, tossing the plant at a now conscious RHYSAND. She draws a blade down her arm and demands he drink. He does, and at the confusion on his face, she tells him that he does not get to ask questions, only give her answers. Quote, how long have you known that I'm your mate? She has to ask it twice before he finally answers. He tells her he suspected for a while that he knew when Amarantha was killing her, and he felt the bond snap into place on the balcony before he winnowed away. Half a year he has kept this secret from her. She asks when he was going to tell her, and he tells her he didn't know. She asks who else knew. Amren and Mor, Cassian and Azriel.
Just everyone
knew. The whole inner circle. Her fury builds. How could he?
I mean, okay, that would like that. Okay, if other people know and I didn't know, then I would be like, okay, fine. She's mad about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I would say she is like, she goes from like kind of like, I'm so mad to that's when she's like, get me out of here. Like that's kind of like a tipping point for her that they all knew and they all were deciding what would be best for her.
The cereal was spilling some serious tea.
Oh my God. Just
that day.
Kettle cup, like he's ready. And now the justifications come. Rhys tells her she was in love with Tamlin, that it didn't seem right, that she wanted fun, that she didn't want someone like him, a mess.
Oh.
And Feyre tells him she doesn't want to hear this, that he and his friends kept her in the dark while they decided what was best for her.
Mm-hmm.
Rhys tries to argue to explain, but she refuses, demanding that he take her back to the Illyrian camp. Now, Rhys shakily gathers his power, and they winnow. Chapter 51. They slam into the mud outside the house. Feyre leaves Rhys in the muck, raging as she approaches a confused Mor and like Azriel like open the door. They're like they hear them like slam in, and they're described as kind of being like, what? And like Azriel like gives Feyre a cursory, he's like not bleeding, like, and then just runs for RHYSAND. Because I feel like, you know, when's the last time they saw the most powerful High Lord and the most beautiful male ever? Like anything but
injured.
Yeah, totally, right?
Even under the mountain, he was never injured.
No,
physically.
But here he's like, he can't even stand up.
Mm-hmm.
She asks Mor to take her away, somewhere far, far away. Mor takes a beat, looks at Feyre, looks at her cousin, moaning Feyre's name in the snow. And then she grabs Feyre's hand and winnows her to the top of one of the mountains, just outside a snowy little cabin.
Cute.
Point for Mor.
Yeah.
Like that, like in that moment, like she didn't go to like Rhys, like her High Lord and her cousin, like she saw another woman clearly like not okay and was like, all right, I got you. Like point. Mor tells her the house is warded. No one can enter without their family's permission. And that word, their family. Mor asks if Feyre guessed, and Feyre reveals what happened with the cereal. They enter the cozy home, Mor lighting a fire in the fireplace and filling the cabinets with food with a wave of her hand. Feyre asks Mor not to share her location with RHYSAND. not until she's ready. To her credit, Moore doesn't say too much. She tells Feyre the house will take care of her needs, and otherwise, her only comment on what has gone on between Rhysand and Feyre is that she knows Rhys wanted to tell her for a long time, and that she, Moore, has never seen her cousin so happy, and she thinks that it has little to do with Feyre being his mate. I feel like it's a short couple of chapters that Moore is involved in here, but this is the most that I have like felt affection to her and like liked her.
You're on her side.
Yeah, at this point I was like, no, I really like she handled this perfectly in my opinion. Like really well.
Also, she's a grocery store. Like how convenient.
Right? I was just like, there you go. Chapter 52. Feyre has a bath, and as she soaks in the tub, her mind races. How could he have known for so long? Did he save her from that wedding to Tamlin because she was so upset, or because he wanted her for himself? And then relief. She could never have been with Tamlin. This realization like saws away and breaks the guilt that has tethered her to the spring court. A bond deeper than family, than marriage. It's not just a relationship or connection. It's destiny, fate. She was not, is not a traitorous piece of filth, which is what she's referred to herself through these books over her feelings for Rhys. But knowing this, like that he's her mate, she's like, I could never have been with him. Like it could not have happened.
But maybe she's more mad at Rhys because she's been feeling this way about herself.
Oh, that's a good point, Allie. Like if he...
Excellent observation.
Yes. If she had known earlier... Yes.
Right. Shit, I had no choice. He knew.
Such a good point. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Totally. Because it's this like huge weight off of her shoulders.
I'd say.
Like, yeah.
Who would want to?
As she drifts off to sleep that night, the word circles her relentlessly. Mate. The next morning, her reflections continue, and her thoughts are softer towards the High Lord of the Night Court. She starts to see things from his perspective, the impossible position he was in, and begins to understand, even if she doesn't know if she agrees. Suddenly, gripped with boredom partway through the day, Feyre begins to snoop. I would have snooped.
Oh, first entry in.
7 seconds after Moore left. I'd be like, are you kidding me? This is where you guys all hung out whenever there wasn't anybody else around, and it's like been here for like, oh my God, every cupboard, every nook and cranny, every drawer. I would have like the linens, everything. I would have torn that place apart like an FBI agent. Oh my God.
Also the sentient houses. Like I
love
of
that.
all the things that are in Perithian, I would love a sentient house.
Oh my God, you just sit there and you're like, I could really go for a cup of that hot cocoa.
Right.
Ring.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like in the Spy Kids where they put it in the microwave and it just turns into a McDonald's meal.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, I would love to rewatch Spy Kids. I totally forgot about that movie.
Maybe Cole could watch it too, if you like old enough to watch it.
It is kind of spooky.
We're talking about the same thing.
I think it's too old for a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
There's like a hell of a line from the one guy, and he's like, do you think God stays in heaven because he too has grown afraid of his creation or something like that? Just like drops this like, what?
Kind of a bombshell.
Yes. In like a children's movie. I remember even as a kid being like, what?
Like, huh?
Maybe he did.
Huh.
Okay.
Are we that bad?
We've got snooping to talk about. As she snoops, she finds paint. Oh, I have thoughts. Before
Same.
she could think twice or acknowledge the shaking of her hands, she begins to paint. But what, gentle listener, is favorite painting? No watercolor canvas. No delicate piece of pottery. No. Feyre paints the house. She has taken it upon herself to paint nearly every surface.
This was so shocking to me.
Oh my God.
Who raised you?
Yeah.
Also, like, ew.
Like, yes, because she's not just doing, and she says, I didn't just do big swaths of color. She's like painting icicles above the door and fire around the fireplace.
The ugliest
The ugliest, tackiest sounding.
Everyone's on.
Yeah, the most
Oh, yeah, eyes.
the most beautiful cottage, and she's just like, how can I ruin that?
Covers it in what sounds like doodles.
It'd be like if she painted the townhouse.
Oh, horrifying. Yes, no.
I agree.
Like,
This is
just
horrible.
Make yourself at home, and who does that?
And then I didn't catch this, and it's funny because I have so when we get to chapter 5, and they finally
Chapter 5.
show chapter 5, wait, 55, and they finally
Like we're going back in time.
do it for realsies. They talk about how they go on the table and they're covered in paint. I thought it was because she had all of her paints out. Is that what you thought? Like on the table, and then they're on there like, no. She has just taken the paint and dumped it on the surface of the table to use as her personal paint mixing palette.
Because then there's water and brushes on there as well. Yeah.
But, like, what is wrong with
Just on didn't put down a plate to use. Didn't get a
Can
piece.
the house also clean itself? Like
I mean,
rid it of these
Just
horrendous drawings.
I mean, yeah. Oh, I just could not. Yes,
Rude.
that is one. Sometimes on a reread, you're like, oh, that's weird. But this was a first read, and I was like, she what?
Oh, literally.
Why would she do that?
Oh my God, hideous. When Moore comes to check on her, once again, to her credit, she doesn't say a critical word. I just could not do the same. Oh my God.
What the fuck happened in here?
Oh, yeah. Feyre asks Moore if RHYSAND is okay, and Moore confirms. She also comments that while Rhys is arrogant, he is also, unfortunately, as previously mentioned, typically right. Feyre inquires about Moore's recent trip to the Hewn City, and Moore indicates that it was painful but typical. Feyre tries to pivot casually, inquiring about Moore's relationship with the inner circle, asking if she and Asriel ever ellipses. And Moore says Az has no shortage of secret lovers, and that the issue isn't her, it's him, that he thinks he's not good enough for anyone, including and especially her.
I disagree with this. I think that he thinks he's not good enough.
Yeah.
But
her blaming him.
Yes.
The issue is him, not
I'm
her.
like,
That's false.
Nah,
No.
false.
Yeah, it's her.
How dare you talk about Asriel?
Yeah.
I will hunt you down.
Also, for her to be like this idea that maybe Az is a bit just pining away and not getting it on. No, she kind of snorts about it. And then carefully, cautiously, Moore asks Feyre if it would really be that bad. The whole fandom is like, yeah.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is she
right? To be RHYSAND's mate. And as Feyre tells her, no, it wouldn't be. She realizes she has her answer. Chapter 53.
just a baby?
Moore spends the night. Girl sleepover. Love it. And then leaves Feyre to her thoughts once again the next day. And as Feyre looks out the window at the glittering, snowy landscape, she imagines a life, one in Valaris, with the inner circle, with RHYSAND. Imagines dinners together, flying together, walking through the artist corridor together. 5 days go by. Feyre paints the whole time, covering every surface. And just as she has decided enough, she hears a loud, impatient bang on the door. Chapter 50 motherfucking 4. Buckle up. Get comfy. RHYSAND is staring at her from the doorway, waiting, freezing, but waiting. Mate, she thinks as she looks at him, and she steps aside. Rhys comes in, looks at the paintings throughout the room. Quote, you painted us. But as he finds the eyes of Moore, Amren, Cassian, and Asriel, he asks where his eyes are. Feyre tells him she was afraid that painting his eyes would make her miss him. As they talk, she tells him that she'll heat him up some food. And he lets her know that when one mate makes food for another, it is considered a symbolic gesture that indicates they have accepted the mating bond. Feyre doesn't stop heating up the soup, instead asking him to tell her everything.
Pause. Is heating up soup really making food?
I mean, she
Like,
does say,
okay, Sarah.
she does say to him, she's like, well, I'm not really I can't really cook, but I'll just like heat this up. And then she thinks to herself, she's like, okay, I'll hear him out while I'm cooking. Hear my air quotes. And then by the time it's done, she'll like decide if she will or not. Rhys starts by telling her he was captured in the war. And we realize we really are getting everything. Amarantha's warriors kept Rhys and his legion captured for weeks, torturing him relentlessly. Amarantha only cared, we learn, about getting to Jurien. And on the day they faced each other on the battlefield, Rhys watched as Amarantha defeated Jurien and then dragged him back to her personal tent to torture him. In her bloodlust, she was too distracted to notice RHYSAND's father as he swept in to free and save Rhys. Though physically free now, Rhys was tormented by his need to make Amarantha pay. And when Amarantha returned centuries later, Rhys was furious when he realized she didn't remember him, didn't remember torturing him relentlessly for weeks on end. And so, as she wove her web of charm and grace throughout the High Lords of Prythian, Rhys's anger and need for revenge grew stronger. Interestingly, the only High Lord that didn't fall for Amarantha's web of lies, besides RHYSAND, was Tamlin. So Amarantha was friends with Tamlin's father.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tamlin, like, I mean,
knew her.
Yes. And he was like, careful.
Bad.
Yeah.
Big bad.
So Rhys decided to go to the party under the mountain that Amarantha had invited them all to attend, planning to get her good and drunk and then slip into her mind, make her confess to all of her lies and crimes in front of everyone, and then make scrambled eggs. But Amarantha was not just 2 steps ahead. She was 10. Amarantha, we miss you.
I kind of love her.
Come back. When Rhys tried to dig into her mind, he found an extensive network of shields built against him. He was so focused on trying to find his way through them that he didn't bother to sniff the drink in his hand. And in that highball, there was more than just liquor. It was laced with a spell to drain the High Lords of their power. Okay, pause. First, -7 points for RHYSAND, because as he describes this, he's like, and I didn't really want to bring Azriel and Cassian, and so there was no one there to smell my drink for me. He literally says that. And I'm like, that is the whiniest you have ever sounded. Like, there's nobody there to smell my drink. Like, and so then I didn't smell it. But also, how did no one?
Right.
Everyone, they all have this amazing. Yeah, they're like, woo! And he specifically says, like, we should have smelled it. Well, anyway. With the last remaining wisps of power that Rhys felt being yanked away, he sent out a wave of magic, obliterating Velaris from the minds of everyone under the mountain. He threw a shield around the city, bound it to the inner circle so they couldn't leave without compromising the integrity of it, and sent one last message to his friends to tell them to stay away.
So this is interesting. When he talks about obliterating Velaris from everyone's mind, does that like
mean that they knew?
Right.
Right.
So then is it a 5,000-year-old secret?
I had the same thought.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. We don't. Okay. We just discussed that we don't know anything about these books. We're supposed to be doing a deep dive and we know shit.
We're just like, we're here for the ride.
Yeah.
And then he was hers. She killed half the court of Nightmares immediately, likely as punishment for Tamlin's father's death, as well as to kind of show RHYSAND like, hey, I'm HBIC now. Like, that evening was the first night that Amarantha demanded RHYSAND share her bed. And here is something I didn't catch on a first read. Rhys describes how he used his powers that night to make it so good for her that she was begging him for more, addicted, couldn't get enough. And his performance was so good that throughout those 50 years, she didn't once think Rhys wasn't enjoying himself as much as she was.
Interesting.
This is interesting because while it doesn't change the fact that Rhys was raped,
No.
I didn't realize that he intentionally chose to use his powers to get Amarantha like hooked on him. Like he said, he kind of like saw her side-eyeing him and was like, okay,
This isn't in.
yep. And that's it. He was like, all right, like, okay, I'm going to lean into this. And like, basically, so I'm like, it almost sounded like he seduced her. Like she was definitely, look, she's having a great time.
She's not upset about
No,
that.
and then she's the one who's
Yeah.
like the power dynamic is still it's rape.
Yeah.
But he is able to create power for himself even through his victimhood, which is like pretty amazing that he was able to do that. It just says it doesn't change like that he was raped and that this is like has created intense trauma for him and PTSD. But I didn't catch on that he saw this as an opportunity and was like, this is a horrible situation, but how can I leverage this to try to like find a way to help my people and things?
I think women have to do that a lot. So it's like
That is such a great point.
like
Yeah.
women not necessarily forced, but like sometimes feel as though their sexuality is the only way they can gain power
Mm-hmm.
and then end up in like horrible situations or like
Mhm.
why women end up in like prostitution
Yeah.
or like those types of things. So
Yeah.
this is I feel like it's
Comes to be
SJM is like interesting how she kind of like flips the traditional roles of what you would
Yes.
see like you don't like we talked about before, you don't
Yeah.
see women as like perpetrators, and typically I would say most don't view men as like victims and like these
sexual
types of-
violence.
yes,
and
exactly.
Yeah. Mhm.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, that's such a great point because you're absolutely right. Like women do often end up, yes, their sexuality is weaponized against them. When often it is one of the tools that we have been taught or are in positions where we're forced to have it be one of our only avenues for influence and control and efficacy over our own lives. Yeah. Good point. And then 3 years ago, the dreams started. A hearth, a bale of hay, a rabbit, foggy flashes like looking through someone else's eyes. And then one night, dreaming, he saw a brush in a hand, a human hand, painting flowers on a table. Farah and these furniture, she just cannot leave it alone.
Girl, can you not afford paper?
Like, I mean, she couldn't, but. And he decided to send something back, an image of the night sky. And Farah, when she's hearing him talk about this, describes like her heart stopped, like hearing that.
I just like to say.
You do. You totally have goosebumps.
Not because I'm cold, I'm in a
No.
sweater.
And then one night he awoke suddenly. The visions had changed dramatically, suddenly clear. And RHYSAND realized that he had been in the woman's dream, watching her have a nightmare about a high fae female slitting her throat. And he realized that this human girl that he had been dreaming of had crossed into Prithian and was now dreaming of their kind. RHYSAND cannot stop thinking about her. Visions of her haunted him. Her scent stalked him. And one night, once again, watching her dream through his dreams, he realized she was in the spring court dreaming of the upcoming Kalanmai.
Oh boy.
Rhys managed to manipulate Amarantha into letting him go. And, quote, there you are. I've been looking for you. Stop. One day, there she was, under the mountain, making that bargain with Amarantha.
She is persistent.
Oh, God. He's like, go home. And he describes the sickening terror of having to stand and watch as Amarantha's cronies beat her. Quote, and then I learned your name. Hearing you say it, it was like hearing the answer to a question I'd been asking for 500 years. I decided then and there that I was going to fight, and I would fight dirty and kill and torture and manipulate, but I was going to fight. If there was a shot of freeing us from Amarantha, you were it. I love this. It wasn't like we could do it together or like it was, that we wanted to be together. he didn't see, like, he saw her and was like, I love her and all that stuff, but mostly he saw her and he was like, he believed in her.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
Mhm.
Like, he's like, you were our shot. So he watched her trials, and after her first one, when she was injured, he found his way in with her. The bargain. A bargain to get back at Tamlin, to piss off Amarantha, and to get closer to her.
Oh.
He describes that night when he found Feyre and Tamlin together and how he was racked with unmistakable jealousy. And for the first time, Amarantha saw and began to wonder. That evening in Amarantha's room, Rhysand had to service her for longer than normal, had to convince her that Feyre was nothing to him, that she was human garbage. But then, the next fateful day, as Rhysand saw her laying on the ground, broken, bloody, and on the edge of death, something snapped in him, snapped between them. And he knew what she was to him, mate. And he picked up that knife, determined to kill Amarantha, regardless of if he died, regardless that she was in love with someone else. Quote, and then she snapped your neck. Tears rolled down his face. And I felt you die, he whispered. Tears were sliding down my own cheeks. And this beautiful, wonderful thing that had come into my life was gone. Rhys grabbed that mating bond, willed her to stay, demanded she stay so that they could save her. Quote, and I didn't care if I had to slice into all of their minds to do it. I'd make them save you. So yes, we had also talked about that. Like he did. He was like, he was ready to make them all.
But he didn't.
He didn't have to, yeah. I think maybe he might have had to push like Baron a little, but.
Also, seeing that he's tugging on the mating bond here, but then he said earlier that he didn't feel the mating bond snap into place until.
I think it's two separate things.
Yeah. So like he knew that she was his mate. He could feel the bond, but he talks about how when she becomes High Fae, when she's resurrected, it cements it. So he feels like the weight of it hits him later.
And then also this part is good because Feyre, when she talks about like dying, because it's the bone carver that asks her what it was like to die. And she's like, I just felt like something pulling me, like something pulling me home.
Oh,
Just cried.
yeah. Yeah. Well,
And it was Rhysand.
It was. She describes, so as he's talking about this, she remembers that moment and she describes like what she felt holding on to her from the other side. And to her, it felt like home, not the spring court, not Tamlin, home. Rhysand was home to her, even when she didn't know.
Oh my God.
And then Amarantha was dead. Feyre was alive and High Fae and in Tamlin's arms. Later, on the balcony with Feyre, he decided he would free her of the bargain. But then he felt it lock into place permanently, and the force of it panicked him, made him afraid of what he might do to keep her, and he fled back to the night court, to Moore, for his first words. Hasn't seen her in 50 years. She's like, oh my God. He's like, she's my mate. She's like, who? What? Hi. The next 3 months, Rhysand listened to Feyre's ensuing misery down the bond as she vomited and sobbed and lost herself to nightmares, all while trying to convince himself she was happier, better off with Tamlin. But then, he says the night of her wedding, or the day of her wedding, he had asked Cassian to like go get just stupid drunk, and Cassian was like, sure, like had no idea.
Of course.
Right?
That's just going down for a good time.
But then he felt it, her terror, begging, demanding someone come help her. And he had to go to her to see if she was okay. And she wasn't. So sad, so terrified, so thin. And he called in the bargain to give her a chance, to give himself a chance. And always giving her the choice for herself, for her future. And all the while, he kept the secret, afraid that telling Feyre she was his mate would somehow force her hand or make her think that everything he had done under the mountain and for his people was to win her. He needed it to be her choice. Quote, slowly, I turned around to where the soup was still boiling and ladled it into a bowl. He watched every step I took to the table, the steaming bowl in my hands. I stopped before him, staring down, and I said, "You love me?" Rhys nodded, and I wondered if love was too weak a word for what he felt, what he'd done for me, for what I felt for him. I set the bowl down before him. Then eat. Finn! No.
We're done.
I'm done.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my
we'll
God.
talk about it on Hot Takes, Theories, and Thirst, but
Mm-hmm.
there are no words.
Yeah, I know.
And I mean, it makes sense the meal wasn't more elaborate.
But like,
Still.
yeah.
At least you didn't use a microwave.
No.
Beep, 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 beep. So, wait, Reese, you have 2 minutes to do this
Right.
entire lore dump before the soup's hot.
Yeah, she's like, I got a hungry man dinner in the microwave. Nuking for you.
I mean, to be fair, I don't cook either, so I feel the same. Chapter 55.
Oh, I'm ready.
We open quietly, softly, reverently. Reese finishes every spoonful of soup like
the
it's a
only-
ritual.
I was going to say, not the only thing he's going to
Several times in fact. Like grounding himself before stepping into something sacred. And when he finally asks, quote, "Aren't you going to say anything?" Feyre already knows. She knew the moment he crossed the threshold of that cottage. What follows is not rushed, not flashy. It's deliberate, brave, and achingly honest. Quote, "I want you to know, RHYSAND, that I love you. I want you to know I am broken." Get through it.
You're so sweet.
Romantic. I actually don't know if I can read it. "I am broken and healing, but every piece of my heart belongs to you. I am honored to be your mate. Babe." This is a choice. This is Feyre choosing him with the entirety of who she is. Scars, guilt, healing, and all. Not destiny dragging her along, but love walking beside her.
So good. And that language of like, that it's an honor, this idea to feel like that it's a privilege to love someone and to be loved by them is so beautiful.
Which Reese does not like feel like he deserves that.
No, he describes
Yeah.
himself as a mess.
Oh, Reese. Reese, our eternally composed High Lord, utterly still. And when Feyre kisses away his tears, quote, "as he had once kissed away mine," the symmetry wrecks us. Me specifically, apparently. She was his, he was hers, equals mates. From here, the chapter shifts, not into shock or spectacle, but into mutual want and hunger. As promised, Reese was about to do things properly. We gasp in unison as he lays her out on the table, paints and all. Jessica has feelings. Legs around him, lips pressed to his. He then breaks away, taking his time, dragging his teeth and tongue southwards. Her sweater becomes a mere memory as RHYSAND strips it away. And now it is his turn to be the artist. He takes the paint and gingerly draws a downward arrow beneath her belly button.
I
Quote,
forgot.
"Lest you forget where this is going."
Stop.
My toes are literally like curled like this. RHYSAND, tattooed chest, perfectly muscled body, and just the tips of his wings peeking out from his shoulders. Feyre is taking in her High Lord.
Ooh.
Patience, Feyre. This court enjoys a little teasing.
Oh my God, did we ever? Big fan of the slow burn, but we're ready to burn now.
Set me on fire.
Right. Light the match.
Paints, brushes, water, who cares? He kneels before her as she hooks her legs over his shoulders, careful not to brush his most sensitive spots. Quote, also my favorite. "Knelt on those stars and mountains inked on his knees. He would bow for no one and nothing but his mate, his equal."
His crown. She is his crown. Oh my God, I love it.
Also, he's kneeling. I'm like, well, that's it for me.
And we're done.
I'm sure Feyre can agree we are equal parts romanced and feral at this site.
Yes.
Like,
Which is the best type.
there's like two, I mean, I'm half crying because we're like it's so romantic.
And
And I'm like
fanning yourself.
the first lick of his tongue set me on fire.
And I bet it did.
I want you splayed out on the table like my own personal feast. We will oblige.
Oh my God. This language of like being devoured in fantasy books. Woof.
Mm-hmm. As Feyre is set alight with desire, waves of pleasure threatening to pull her under, quote, my climax shattered through me, splintering my consciousness into a million pieces. But our High Lord does not relent, kneeling and feasting, pushing her over the edge again. I think that in fantasy books, fantasy, when, like, I know they're written for women, but I think, like, I like that women's sexuality for sexuality's sake is, like, a bit celebrated. Like, okay, so they had this big lore dump and this, like, heavy emotional, and it's not like they just, like, are right away like, let's, like, do it. He's like, no, you first.
Right.
And I like also partially why we love Rhys and Cassian and like and but like it happens a lot. Like there's these big moments of like, should we, shouldn't we? And then finally they decide they will.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's always the women that come first. And like I said, it's written for women. So like you get that. I feel like a lot of women feel like shame about like either asking or wanting or
to like come first or to come.
Both.
Either. Yeah.
There's like a small percentage of men that be faking it out there, okay? Like,
right. Yeah.
Women are like, give this woman an Oscar.
Honestly.
What is she doing?
The performances that occur. Yeah.
So I love that about romantasy.
Yeah, I agree.
I just thought I'd say that.
No, 100%.
The movement from kitchen to bedroom isn't urgency, it's inevitability. And as Rhys comes over her, wings and all, the text makes one thing clear. This is unprecedented for him. Trust made manifest, quote, he'd never gone to bed with a female while his wings were out.
That's right.
But I was his mate. He would yield only to me. She was his and he was hers, quote, my friend through many dangers, my lover who had healed my broken and weary soul. My mate who had waited for me against all hope and despite all odds. If that doesn't undo you, check your pulse.
Are you dead?
Rhys once again tears through Feyre. Rhys roars. And the mountains tremble.
Okay, so this is orgasm number 3 for Feyre.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
She's getting hers. Then comes Rhys's confession. He explains how he fell in love, slowly, inevitably recognizing her as family long before the bond snapped into place. He likens her to Cassian.
I remember.
Saying that when she started like building the bone ladder for the worm, he's like, that's my girl.
I love that.
Yeah. When he watched her fight under the mountain, he noticed her loyalty, ferocity, and heart.
I love it. And I also love that like Cassian, when he met her, is like, how'd you defeat that worm? Like it really
ties it.
Yes, like she is like Cassian in that way.
And she kind of teases him. She's like, well, I'm glad you thought of like your best friend.
Right.
Like, when you're
right.
Like,
your drinking buddy. Yeah.
But it is, I thought it was it's very charming.
I agree.
Yeah. Later, wrapped in paint and laughter and softness, they both realize they should clean up. Just a little. Rhys shares another playful and helpful tidbit, quote, how convenient that the bathtub is large enough for two. With a washcloth and wicked intentions, Feyre begins to wash the paint from RHYSAND's wings.
Oy, oy, oy.
And yes, she mentions that she is most pleased that certain anatomical correlations prove to be accurate.
Stop. So what does that mean for Asriel?
We are not prepared.
That noise. I hope your mic picked that up.
And then Feyre shares when she fell in love. Faves, we all know it started at Calamai. But Feyre really knew or admitted it quietly to herself at Starfall.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That doesn't mean she was ready to share it. She didn't feel worthy. She didn't feel free from the Tamlin guilt that plagued her. Choosing joy takes courage, and she knows now he's worth it. Worth anything and everything that they would encounter from now until forever.
I love that. And I think that's such a great observation that choosing joy does take courage. Like, I feel like in life, choosing to be like choosing to focus on the negative and the darkness and whatever is like easy in some ways versus like choosing to be like, I'm going to do something that makes me happy, even if it's like inconvenient for others, or even if it, you know what I mean? Like, especially as women, like.
I do know what you mean.
Yes. And so I think that's a great observation. Choosing joy takes courage. Yeah. It's not always easy.
And it's not always joyous at first.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, absolutely.
The conversation turns to next steps now that they are mates. What does being mates mean? Sarah questions. RHYSAND lays it out for her. He's like, we can have a ceremony. We can be called husband and wife. We can send announcements. We can have a party. Or we can do nothing at all.
Right.
Sarah decides. It's always Sarah's choice. Then reality intrudes. Rude. Hi, burn, the cauldron, the queens. Tomorrow looms. But tonight, luckily, babes, there are a few more distractions. With Feyre's body literally glowing, radiating happiness, her stomach is glowing at this point. It is odd. When I read it, I was like, wait, what? They talk about how they think it was Daycourt, like a Daycourt power or something. But it's like her stomach is glowing.
Stop.
IBS is gone.
She has no irritable bowel.
Crescent City girlies, are you screaming like I'm screaming? My mind is going a million miles an hour right now.
No spoilers here.
I know. Oh my God, I can't even. I have to text Caitlin right away. Okay. God, that's crazy. Okay.
RHYSAND rises from the bath, taking her in his arms and placing her back on the magically clean bed, which I mean, amazing.
Yeah. Again, the sentient house.
I know. It knew.
Yes.
Then he removes his glamour, not to intimidate, but to share. His full power fills the room, not as a weapon, but as an offering. Quote, he filled the room, the world, my soul, with glittering ebony power. Stars and wind and shadows, peace and dreams, and the honed edge of nightmares. Darkness rippled from him like tendrils of steam as he reached out a hand and laid it flat against the glowing skin of my stomach.
Oh my God.
Jessica's like, oh my God. We need Crescent City. We must talk about it.
It's fine. I just have no one to talk about this with. It's fine.
Feyre meets him there, not afraid, not overwhelmed, wanting all of him. Light, dark, past, future, and our girl, not to be deemed a pillow princess, wants him to know just how much she wants him. She takes control for what Feyre notes as like somewhere around a minute before Rhys is like, can't handle it. And he was like, I'm taking this back.
Right.
In her ecstasy with the ebony night swirling around her, Feyre thinks, quote, I could die from this, I decided, from wanting him, from the pleasure of being with him. Ma'am. She longs to drive out the darkness that haunts him and pull him towards her light. Morning comes too quickly. There's laughter, hunger, a shredded mug, and then we learn about the mating frenzy.
Oh, yeah.
Intense, consuming, unfortunately temporary. Just a really bad case of lovesickness, really. But in males' case, they can become completely irrational, perhaps caused by the innate desire to procreate.
Right.
Which circles us back to producing little High Lord heirs, which she once referenced. Like that would be her job when she was married to Tamlin.
With Tamlin, yeah.
She notes that she's not taking a tonic, and Rhys asks if she wants to. Feyre thinks aloud, quote, if I'm a High Lord's mate, I'm expected to bear you offspring, aren't I? So perhaps I shouldn't. To which our favorite feminist High Lord replies in pure perfection, quote, you are not expected to bear me anything. Swoon. Choice. Always choice. One they will make together when they are both ready. which I kind of like because she talks about like, I actually kind of want you all to myself for a bit.
Yeah.
And, like, let's live our, like, they have for frickin' ever.
Right.
Like, let's live
Yes.
in this life we have now.
Yeah.
Also the war. So that's like not
Do you-
ideal.
Do you really want to bring a baby to that? I mean, like, whatever, but like,
People
yes,
do, but
totally.
like,
Yeah.
Sarah is
If
like,
you don't have to, and
yeah.
you're like, yeah.
We finish after Feyre has several times with quote, "You take all the time you need, and if I get you all to myself for the rest of eternity, then I won't mind that at all."
I love that.
Babes, that's it. That's the standard. That's the High Lord we deserve.
Yes.
Fuck you, Pamela. This chapter isn't about heat, it's about home, about two broken people choosing to heal together, about love that waits, yields, and listens, and never cages.
Maybe
Also, it's about sex.
maybe like a little heat.
Oh, that's a little bad.
Yeah.
And for those questioning what you just read, we are not reading about sex. We are reading about healing. Unfortunately for us, tomorrow brings Highburn. But for now, they are mates. They are equals, and we are emotionally unwell.
Oh, like, yeah. Rereading these, I was like, it's as good as I remember.
I feel like it was better.
Yeah.
Better. I was like, yes. I literally was like reading it, and I'm like, quote. And I'm like, okay.
I did
Quote
all
every
in.
single thing.
I know. I can't wait
And
for
I did use a lot of quotes.
I can't wait for Andrew to get to this part because right now he's at the part that like you got stuck at. He's and Kendall is too, my sister-in-law. They're at the House of Wind getting that like first big lore dump that's like hard to wade through where she's first meeting. I think it's like the first time she really meets Cassian and Azriel, and they're like,
Okay.
right. Yeah, and Andrew's like kind of slogging through that right now, and so is Kendall. But I'm like, oh god, next is like the Weaver, and that like I'm like, it's coming up.
The Weaver yet? Oh
no.
boy,
Not yet.
Andrew,
I
pick
know.
up the pace.
Come on, sweetheart.
Chapter 56. We open with RHYSAND in full mate mode, which means approximately 0 chill and surplus of unspent feral energy.
I love it.
Enter Cassian. Emotional support Illyrian, Chaos Edition. What starts as teasing turns into immediate, no notes needed violence therapy. Quote, "They were a sight to behold. 2 Illyrian males fighting in the mud and stones, panting and spitting blood. I'd seen him mad, but never so feral. And honestly, we're here for the throwdown."
I know. I can't wait to see this like on the screen.
With the right casting.
Yes, of course.
This isn't about winning. This is Rhys working through love, fear, relief, and 50 years of trauma via a sanctioned bloodbath. Cassian lets him. Moore clocks it instantly, and somewhere in between bruises and grit, Moore turns to Feyre and welcomes her to the family.
I love this.
A moment Feyre notes are some of the most beautiful words she has ever heard. I know.
Yeah, Moore does do a lot of like heavy redemption lifting in these few chapters.
Yes, she does. I like her in these chapters.
Yeah.
After an hour of mud, blood, and feelings, Rhys is finally calm enough to turn that energy back towards Feyre. Cassian and Moore immediately discover urgent business elsewhere.
Oh, we must be going.
Yeah, exactly. When they're fighting, and this is, I didn't write it down, but when Cassian and Rhys are fighting, all the other Illyrians are like, there's a legion, I think they described, that flies in, and they're all like, we are not landing. And so they just like circle because Rhys's power is like,
right.
like they can feel how he's feeling, and they're like,
we're not going anywhere near that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So cool.
Me on a Tuesday.
Rhys has PMS. They went home to Valaris hand in hand, and this is it, the official introduction as mates. Feyre stands beside Rhys as they greet Amryn, Azriel, Cassian, and more. No one questions it. No one hesitates. They bow.
Oh, that's right.
They place their hands over their hearts, and Amryn says, quote, "We will serve and protect."
I forgot about this.
I know. It's so formal.
It is.
I like it, though. I like that it's Amryn that says it, too.
Yes. Because out of all of them, like, I mean, does she need to bow to anyone? But that she chooses to.
Exactly. Feyre thinks quietly, overwhelmingly, how lucky she is to call them her family. And if that doesn't hit you square in the chest, I don't know what will. Like, she's so in love with Rhys, but also just like
Yeah. His people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's, ugh.
Mhm.
Like you say, it's like when your friends love who you're with, or like
Yeah.
your partner loves your friends. It's
Yes.
like such a good feeling.
It's such a great feeling. Yeah.
And you see them like interacting and you're like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yes.
You're like, I made this.
Yes. I love you and I love you and now you guys love each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so good. Dinner brings reflection and the conversation turns to Feyre's actions in the forest. Amren, pleased and sharp as ever, notes that Feyre let her fangs show. Our girl did not come to play. Moore points out that Feyre basically saved Rhys.
Mm-hmm.
And Feyre, never missing a chance for a well-timed jab, replies, quote, he does need unusual amounts of coddling. Azriel nearly chokes on his wine, and Feyre meets his gaze. For the first time, she notes that it's softened for her. Like his gaze is actually like relaxed. And when she looks into his eyes, she feels like warmth and tenderness versus like
guarded.
And like, I feel like if you look at him, you'd always be like, am I sus?
Right. Yeah.
He's like sussing you out. And, like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. So many secret lovers. Who can decide? Then, just like that, it's time to move. The stakes rise, quote, as we went to show the queens the secret they'd all suffered so much for so long to keep. As we close this chapter, feral love is settling into something steadier. Feyre realizes, standing with them in a room for the first time in her life, that these people will burn the world for her, and she would do the same. It's getting dangerous. Feyre cares.
I love it.
Deal.
I love it. I do feel like we've talked about this so much, but like the love, yeah, like one of the love stories here is not just the romantic love story, but yeah, the like found family love. So beautiful.
Also, that they give away Valaris. I just I can't.
Big oversight there, Rhys.
And Feyre just like every turn she's like, I don't know, this isn't a good idea. Like, I don't
Are
think we
you
should do
sure?
this. Like, surely there's another way.
Yeah.
But I think when you said earlier where you're like, Rhys thinks he knows best. And
Yeah.
I think this is one of those times.
Absolutely it
and
is.
he won't take any like what do you like not a well, I guess advice or like counsel.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like no one thinks that this is a good idea.
Yeah. It's his fatal flaw is he's very smart and he's very powerful and he's also kind and compassionate. And so he's like, well, I know best and I have everyone's best interest at heart. And I'm pretty much always right. So I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. But that means that, yeah, like when it backfires, it's bad.
Well, we'll see. Chapter 57. We arrive in the mortal lands to crocuses and daffodils in full bloom, which feels opposed to the emotional frost we're about to walk into. Only the eldest and the golden queens are present this time, but don't be fooled. There's just as many guards, just as much suspicion, and exactly zero warmth. This time, though, Feyre and RHYSAND are there hand in hand. And Feyre describes it as, quote, a song without end or beginning. Soft, intimate, and unbreakable. Rhys speaks first, thanking the queens for agreeing to meet again, the diplomatic king that he is. Inner Circle is positioned like a living shield, Azriel and Cassian on either side of Nesta and Elaine, Moors beside Rhys, and Feyre notes, quote, Nesta's shoulders were already locked, Elaine biting her lip. Typical.
Yep, on brand.
Fucking Elaine. The ancient... We actually haven't heard from fucking Elaine for a
hot minute.
The ancient queen wastes no time reminding everyone that she still holds a grudge, quote, after being so gravely insulted the last time. A simmering glare thrown at Nesta. Nesta, bless her, leveled a look of pure, unyielding flame right back at her.
Oh, I love the flame foreshadowing.
The queen continues, explaining they debated for days whether to return at all, and notes, obviously 3 of them found the insult unforgivable. Okay.
Like,
relax.
Yeah, calm down.
The younger queen cuts in, cool and sharp, quote, so he won your heart after all, curse breaker. And pause, Because how exactly has that title traveled to the mortal lands?
Good
File that away
gosh.
for later.
Okay.
As talk turns to the looming war, Feyre refers to our people, only to be swiftly corrected. The queen clarifies that there is her people, as in the queen, or no, as in Feyre's people, and our people, as in the queen's people, and that they are not the same. She adds that Feyre is barely better than the children of the breast,
Stop.
those mortals who worship the Fae and long for immortality. Side note, seriously, ask JM, what is the long-term
The
plan with
children of
them?
the blessed, seriously. Also, like, this queen should talk. She also is like the first chance she gets to be high fae. She's like, yes, please. Like,
Where's that bathtub?
hot meat kettle.
Then business. Moore brings out the box containing the orb.
Wah, wah, wah.
Feyre, steady but desperate, asks if her love for the High Lord is not proof enough of their intentions. Her mortal sisters stand behind her, Elaine's iron engagement ring on her finger. They trust the Night Court. Why can't the queens? The queen, frankly, calls Elaine an idiot.
Stop.
I mean, same. Not in so many words. Actually, she does say idiocy, but not in so many words, but the sentiment is there. And I mean, she's not wrong. Nesta immediately steps in, hissing back with quiet venom. The queen replies, the viper speaks again. But before we get into a real war of words here, there's truth-telling to do. Feyre pleads with Rhysand down the bond not to reveal Valaris.
Wow.
And we are all chanting the same thing.
Stop, hey.
But Moore, with a nod, steps forward and says, quote, truth is deadly. Truth is freedom. Truth can break and mend. The Veritas holds in it the truth of the world. I am the Morrigan. You know I speak truth. Moore, respectfully, that was ominous. Like, I am the Morrigan. I am the Jamie. Like, get fucking ready.
You know what? Like, our next work meeting.
Yeah.
I am the Jamie.
Yeah.
Yes. Speak now.
They'll be like, what?
What?
The queens are unmoved. Oh, no, they're not yet. First, the truth is shown. High above Perithian, the queens see Valaris for the first time. A city that is peaceful, joyful, kind, alive. Feyre describes it as being filled with colors that feel like love itself. And then Rhys removes his mask completely, admitting the world assumed he became a monster after the war. But in truth, quote, if the cost of protecting my people is the contempt of the world, then so be it.
Again, this whole ends justify the means.
The queens are now unmoved. They'll consider it at their leisure.
Oh my God, they're the worst.
They are. Rhys pushes gently but firmly, urging them to act now. The ancient queen scoffs, asking if he truly believed that his letter would sway her. What letter, you ask?
Da da da.
The letter, the heart of it, quote, I write you not as a high lord, but as a male in love with a woman who was once human. I write you to beg you to act quickly, to save her people, to help save my own. I write you so one day we might know true peace, so I might one day be able to live in a world where the woman I love may visit her family without fear of hatred and reprisal. A better world. Dreamer behavior. Terminal. Incurable. Like, Rhys, get it together.
He got it bad.
You got it bad. Still, the queens doubt him. Maybe he's manipulating them. Maybe it's all an illusion. Smoke and mirrors. And then Nesta snaps.
Get it.
This is the talk of mad women. Of arrogant, stupid fools.
Oh, love her.
To Feyre's shock, Nesta then pleads, give them the book. Give the ones actually fighting for humans a chance. And then Cassian sweeps into her side, sees the tears in her eyes. That fire she carries, quote, that fire that burns so violently from within. Can we get more fire in this chapter?
Seriously.
He pledges himself to Nesta, to Elaine, to humankind, and then wipes away her tear. Unfortunately, he does not look it, and I was disappointed. Color me disappointed.
In front of all of them, just
I mean, and Feyre notices Moore watching them in awe. is that a thread forming? Like, this is what I mean about more being like a bit like clairvoyant. Like, because Feyre described her as looking at Cassian and Nesta together and being like kind of in awe of what's happening. Like,
Right.
does she see that they're going to be mates?
I don't know, maybe.
Like, it feels
Moore's power is so weird. I have no idea.
like more and more, I feel like more is also can like either see the future or like has some kind of like intuition that is like aligned with her truth
But
telling.
if she can do that, and that says even more that she's
A villain. Exactly. That's what
Because
I
she's
mean.
seen all this stuff coming and doesn't do anything
That's
about
what
it.
I mean.
Bitch. Allie's got fighting words. She's channeling her inner Nesta.
Yes, exactly. Hissing like a venomous
So much hissing.
serpent. No, I don't remember where we were between all the hissing. One last try. Whoops, no.
make your own.
I just made that up. Moore tries one last angle. Riches, gold, whatever their price. The queens have no use for this. And then they are gone. As the inner circle prepares to leave, Feyre feels that awful sinking desperation until Rhys stops. He's staring beneath the Golden Queen's chair, the youngest one. A box. Inside the other half of the Book of Breathing. It sings to Feyre, and she knows this half is different. Quote, where the first half had been cold and cunning, this box was chaos and disorder and lawlessness, joy and despair. So interesting.
Yes. Okay. I'm trying to think if this is like a Crescent City giveaway. I don't want to give away any. Okay, no, I'm not going to.
Hold that thought.
Yep.
Write it down.
We'll see you in
Later.
approximately 200 episodes. Yeah.
There's a note inside from the youngest queen. Apparently, she's a romantic after all.
And a great actress.
She writes that she read his letter as well, that she believes him, that she believes in peace in a better world. If anyone asks, they stole the book. And one last warning, quote, do not trust the others. The sixth queen was not ill.
Now she a bird.
She's a bird living with Kostje.
Trapped in a lake.
Poor thing. Before returning to Valaris, Rhys offers Feyre's sisters a choice. Come with them or stay and he will send protection. Elaine declines, we sigh, and Nesta stays with her. Like,
do you think if Elaine had said, I'll go where Nesta goes, that what would Nesta have chosen? Because Nesta's going to go wherever Elaine goes. But if Elaine had said, I'll go wherever you go, where would Nesta have gone? Would she have gone? I think she would have gone.
for sure she would have gone.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. If nothing else, to like figure out this Cassian fella.
Like, oh, that's you wipe the tear. I heard about this licking thing you guys do over there. I'm a big fan of that.
Your wingspan's impressive. I get distracted when I talk about things like that. Rhys assures them that the invitation never expires, and as they part, Nesta turns to Feyre and says, quote, that was why you painted the stars on your drawer. Soon, dearest Nesta, your drawer is coming. Chapter 57 is about truth laid bare. Love is leverage, hope is rebellion, and the quiet understanding that sometimes one person believing in you is enough to change everything. The queen believes. She's a believer. What is the Shrek? I believe. That's the believe.
She's like reading the letter, just like,
donkey.
That's going to be our new social clip. You and I being like, believe.
It's good. Watch Shrek again.
You know what? We watched it with, oh, sorry. We watched it with Colt a few months ago, and Andrew and I were howling. I was like, oh, I get why this was such a huge hit, because it is like funny and entertaining for kids. It's also very funny and entertaining for adults in the way that like the kids don't get the jokes, which makes it funnier.
Lord Farquaad.
Oh, yeah.
Also, when we went camping with Mom and Drumheller, and I stayed in my camper truck with Colt, crawled into my bed, Jamie.
Okay.
And then he wanted me to tell him a story, so I started making up Shrek.
Oh, no.
If I know this, Shrek.
Like,
He's
nice
like,
try, Auntie
yeah.
Anne. They copyrighted this long ago.
That's right.
Oh, is your bed so comfy? And I said, yeah, it's kind of comfy. Maybe I should come try it.
Maybe I should just see what I'm missing.
It's so comfy here.
Oh.
But then didn't he try to kick you out of your own bed?
No, he just
It's like, maybe you go sleeping.
So I moved over to his bed, and then he woke up and he was really upset that I was in his bed because he said, I wanted to sleep in my bed.
You're like, you said it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Kid, make up your
You
mind.
can't win with a 4-year-old.
Mom and Scott were absolutely, when will they go to bed?
It's like, God, I'm tired.
Oh,
I go to bed at 6:45.
I wish.
Mhm.
Chapter 58. Back in Belarus, there's no victory lap, just urgency. Cameron snaps up the second half of the book the second they return and locks herself inside the dining room of the townhouse. No explanations, no updates, just Ward's door shut and waiting. And Feyre waits. She thinks about the war, how even if they manage to disable the cauldron, Highburn will still come.
Mm.
No word from the queens, no word from her sisters, no word from Asriel's spies. Silence stretches thin and sharp. Her thoughts linger on the golden-eyed queen. Not just a lion's coloring, Feyre realizes, but a lion's heart.
Oh, I remember that line. I love
Mhm.
that.
While Mor and Rhys slip into the hewn city quietly to return the orb before anyone notices it's missing, Asriel and Cassian stay behind to keep Feyre company, to protect her. And Feyre is not thrilled. She tells Rhysand as much down the bond. He counters, gently but firmly, they aren't babysitters, they're her friends, and she's his mate. Protection comes instinctively. She bristles anyway, scribbling back her irritation on the magic text notes. Just in case you're wondering why she's scribbling. Rhys, entirely unrepentant, replies, quote, they will protect you on instinct. If you kick their asses out of the house, they'll likely just sit on the roof.
I love that.
Feyre fires back, annoyed at the Illyrian males. Rhys only grins through the bond and adds, quote, good thing we make up for it with impressive wingspan.
I was going to say he better make a joke about the wingspan.
Sir, this is serious.
Like, come on. We're not joking around.
To burn off the restless energy, Feyre and Cassian spend the afternoon out in the city. First stop, the symphony. They describe the music. Well, Feyre describes it as interesting because it's like old-timey Fae music.
Okay.
And she's like, I think she uses maybe the word disjointed. Like it was
right.
she
I
describes
remember
it as
that.
kind of weird.
Yes.
But then they drop off blood for Amren and they're immediately told to fuck off. So they wander instead towards the market, the palace of thread and jewels, which kind of sounds like my happy place.
I was going to say, I
Clothes
could,
and jewels.
I could do some damage.
Yes. Feyre browses, thinking about thank you gifts for her sisters. She also wonders if Cassian might buy something for Nesta. She is the nosiest little Nelly.
She's so nosy. When she's in that cabin up in the mountains and like dealing with this whole like, could he be my mate? Oh my God. And then she's like, also more. What's the deal with you and Asriel? I'm like, Feyre.
Like bigger fish to fry.
Oh,
Stay in your lane.
So nosy.
She's so nosy. On the bridge over the river, watching Isidra glide beneath them, Feyre thinks of Tarquin, of water, of his power. She thanks Cassian for standing up with Nesta, for believing in her and offering to protect her, Elaine, and humankind. I could do with that, Elaine. She explains that Nesta is complicated, and she gives him the warning that only Feyre could phrase so precisely, quote, she will never love freely and gift it to everyone who crosses her path. But the few she does care for, I think Nesta would shred the world apart for them, shred herself apart for them. Then, softer, she notes, quote, I just thought you should know for whenever you see her again and she pisses you off. Babes, she will. Many times.
I feel like Andrew is a little bit this way. Like he is like, he does not like love freely. He's not just like one of those people that meets everyone and is overly like open and warm right away or whatever. But it's like the few people that are in his inner circle, like we would do anything for.
Yeah, I think Will's same.
Yeah.
Our little stoic husband.
Yeah. That was
Wow.
Did you transform there? I was
Yeah,
like,
no, it was uncanny. Wow. That's how you imitate Andrew all the time.
oh, I know. The jaw comes forward.
Yeah.
The brow lowers a smooch.
I can't lower my brow. Like, too much. Impossible. Then the water shifts. Cassian stills. The sky darkens. A smear of black appears on the horizon. Attack. Cassian tells Feyre to run, to get back to the townhouse. But Feyre is already bracing herself. As arrows rain down, Cassian launches skyward, his siphons flaring as he throws a red shield over Valaris. The attackers are wrong in a way that makes Feyre's stomach drop. They're horrifyingly similar to the adder. Which, now that I read this, makes me think maybe the adder is a species.
It must be.
They carry stones that repel magic. Then the sky breaks open. The Golden Queen, the youngest one, falls lifeless, impaled on a lamppost. The adder appears, mocking and cruel. Quote, regards, it hisses.
Oh, hissing.
The mortal queens and Jurian. Chaos erupts, ringed creatures drop Hybern's shoulder. Oh my gosh, that's too many Chaos erupts, winged creatures drop Hybern's soldiers straight into the streets. Screams echo, panic spreads. Cassian and Azriel unleash absolute devastation on the skies above. Quote, and where they flew, those winged creatures died. I just imagine them like kind of like a superhero movie where they're like pew 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 and like
Yep.
exactly just like dropping like flies, but in a more serious sense. Power surges beneath Feyre's skin as understanding slams into her. Quote, this was not an attack to sack the city, it was an extermination. And Feyre chooses, this was, quote, this was my home. These were my people. If I died defending them, defending that small place in the world where art thrived, so be it. And I became the darkness and shadow and wind.
Get it, girl.
She becomes the Sidra itself, bending the water to her will. Water wolves rise, massive and merciless, quote, as colossal as the one I had once killed. Andress. They hunt, they drown, they pull the enemy from the sky. Those who think they escape are frozen, shattered as they fall, quote, until the streets were laden with ice and gore and broken bits of wing and stone. The screams then begin to fade, and Feyre sees him, the adder, slinking away, hoping to vanish like he always has. Not today.
Nah.
As Feyre locks onto him, Rhys's voice slams down the bond, panicked and sharp. Where are you? Italics, all caps.
Italics, all caps. Bold, underline.
Truly. Feyre doesn't hesitate. She answers with absolute certainty. I'm exactly where I need to be.
Okay, but also Feyre. Like, I'm over here. It's okay. Like,
no, she slams down her shields. And she,
I know.
You'll see.
Yeah.
And chapter 58 closes not with relief, but with resolve, because Valaris was touched, and Feyre Archeron will not let it stand.
Get it, girl.
Exactly. Chapter 59. Feyre Archeron chooses violence.
Not today, folks.
This chapter wastes 0 seconds easing us in. Feyre is in the rainbow, poison arrows in hand, shield slammed down, adrenaline humming so loudly you can practically hear it over the Sidra. RHYSAND is shouting down the bond, panic, fury bleeding through, and Feyre is locked in. No hesitation, no second guessing, just clarity. Quote it with me. The adder was mine. And honestly, chills. This world tilts into a dark nightmare as Rhys answers her resolve with pure power. Feyre feels him, not just present, but terrifying. Quote, my mate, death incarnate, night triumphant. This chapter is so badass. This is not the charming High Lord with the smirk. This is the other thing. The thing that makes monsters reconsider their life choices. Feyre focuses, winnows, clean, sharp, fearless, and lands on top of the adder.
Yeah.
Not beside it, not near it, on it.
While it's flying, right?
Yep.
Oh,
In the sky.
I love it.
She drives the poisoned arrows straight through its wings, and then because she is Feyre and apparently incapable of half measures, she sets herself on fire. A living flame in free fall wrapped around her enemy, burning bright enough to rewrite the rules. Somewhere in the chaos, she finds her knife, and this is where the chapter gets quiet in the most devastating way. She stabs him, once for Rhys, once for Claire, and then for herself. Then, low and lethal, she leans in and whispers, quote, "I'll see you in hell."
Woo-wee.
She winnows away before impact. Her legs give out when she hits the street, her back against the wall, the world finally catching up to her. And what's left behind? Quote, "On the street ahead, what lay broken and oozing on the cobblestone. The adder's wings were a twisted ruin. Beyond that, scraps of armor, splintered bone, and burned flesh were all that remained."
Girl got him good.
Mm-hmm. Then Rhys is there, sunlight breaking through his dark, grounding her, steadying her as she stares into those violet eyes. He grabs her and kisses her like the world nearly ended and refuses to pretend otherwise. And then, because he's RHYSAND, he murmurs, quote, "Feyre, curse breaker and defender of the rainbow."
That's right. I was like, she's got a couple nicknames. Defender of the Rainbow.
Not just his mate, not just his equal, but the protector of this city. This place of art and color and healing.
Love it.
Finn.
Finn.
Finn. Fucking Finn.
The TV's like, indeed, Finn. Holy smokes.
That was a roller coaster.
That was a roller coaster.
I like that she, well, hot take theories and thirst.
Hot takes, theories, thirst.
I like that she is really good at like balancing intimacy with like action.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because sometimes I feel like books are either it's too much action and you're like always fighting and you're like, can we just get a fucking moment's rest?
Yeah.
And then in other books, you're like, okay, yeah, we get it. Like, they like having sex. Can you move the story forward?
Yes,
or like,
totally.
can we resolve some of these problems? Like, Blood and Ash. I'm like, move the fucking story along.
Yes.
So I think Sarah J Maas does a really good job of that.
I agree. And I think it's why it can be appealing to like men and women and younger adults and older adults, because there's a little bit of something for everybody. There's like the like cool fantasy and the world building and like the magic and like all of that. And then there's like the romance and the love story and the spice. And then there's like really hardcore like battle and strategy and history and all of that. I agree. I think she balances that really well.
And like the next book, Wings and Ruin, is like
mostly adventure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But never like there's always a bit of a break where you can like regroup and kind of be like, okay, so what happened?
Right.
Like you're not always like, oh, they're fighting like this and that. Like, yeah, it doesn't feel exhausting.
I agree. Yes, that is how I feel when I watch like action movies sometimes, where I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Aren't you guys, can we have a nap?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Exhausting.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't even know where to begin. Like, this was wild. Truly, as I was reading the infamous chapter 54, there were so many times where I was like, oh yeah. Like, where you and I had been like, what happened? Like, I wish we could go back and count the number of times. We probably could actually, that we say like, we'll have to see in chapter 54, because it really is such a huge lore dump and explanation. And oh my God, I remember reading it for the first time and
You
just
never forget your first.
you really don't. At least not with RHYSAND.
No,
like,
certainly not.
oh my God. But like, the way that you repaint everything is so good. Also, I will say, hearing all of these little Easter eggs that now on a reread, we see with Cassian and Nesta, like around the flames and like all of that. I'm like, what are we missing with Elaine? They have to be there.
So again, with the garden and the flowers, like when they're meeting with the queens, they are standing in front of Elaine's garden. They can see it through the window that's behind Elaine.
Okay.
So like, maybe you're right. Maybe she ends up with Tamlin.
There is, and I don't think this gives anything away in Crescent City. There is a type of magic. I think they call it like elemental magic. And so different people have different elements. And one of them is like, I think maybe they call it earth magic. And it's like plants and stuff like that. So I wonder if that's like, yeah, maybe a little bit of a crossover there. I don't know. It also seems kind of like a lame power. To be like, I can make a pretty garden. I'm messing pretty flowers. You know what I mean? Like her seer power seems much cooler.
Yeah.
But yes, if we're thinking about, okay, so if Nesta has been foreshadowed all of this fire, Elaine's like flowers.
Which, I mean, if she ends up with
Tamlin.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Now, I did tell us to scroll something away for later. Oh, yeah. The queens. How do they know she is called Cursebreaker if they were not under the mountain? If they do not live in
Prithian?
I'll tell you how. Hybern. This was the first, I feel like, thing where you're like, Hybern. Because he would know. And he would know who Feyre is.
Yes. Good catch, Jamie.
It only took me twice.
No, good catch. You're totally right. Yeah. How else would they know?
Yeah.
How would they know?
And why does our inner circle not clock this?
Also, more again with I am the Morgan.
The Morgan.
Yes. Right? Like, I feel like, I mean, her and like Shane Cassian very much have like a sibling vibe throughout most of this. And I just feel like if I was him, like in this book alone, she said it 3 times? I'm the Morgan, my power is true. I feel like every time she'd say that, like he probably just stands there and is just like, oh my God. Like his eyes. Again. Yes. Eyes just rolling like,
okay, the Morgan.
Okay.
You weren't that good.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're the Morgan. Like, oh my God, I would tease her mercilessly. And also, we talked about it, but like the painting of the cabin
is the worst.
It is. Brain is like, this seems like a good idea. Oh,
I know.
Okay, I want to add. I've been reading about this Tamlin story,
okay.
And the other one. In the Tamlin story, he turns from a fairy back into a human at the end because he can transform into all of these different shapes. That also Tam can.
Tam can.
He sits.
He said. So I won. This my theory now is that this is somehow going to happen to Tamlin. It's going to be
that he'll turn into human.
And then also just read this about this. What's this one?
Tilly's like hot takes coming in.
The Sun and West of the Moon, which is the other one she said it's based off of. But the guy who turns into a bear, or the fairy that turns into a bear and carries off the daughter, she turns back into an attractive prince, and then the girl that he's stolen from the family kisses him, but turns out that she kissed him too soon, and if she had waited a year, he would have been free. But now he must go to his wicked stepmother, a witch queen who turned him from his form and lives in a castle that lies east of the sun and west of the moon, and married her daughter, a witch princess, Amarantha. Thoughts?
I could see it.
I didn't follow any of that. I was like, to be honest, I was trying to be like, east, northeast, east of the.
No, I think so. Yes, wicked stepmother,
Yeah, the wicked
princess,
witch stepmother.
Tamlin does?
No.
Yeah, yes, the Tamlin in this story.
Okay.
Oh, this is east of sun.
Yes.
I thought that was separate.
Tamlin is
Oh, I see.
Okay. So
Yes,
Like,
the
wait, what?
evil, wicked stepmother or witch queen. And then because the curse has been broken too soon, the witch queen takes him back and he has to marry her daughter, which is a witch princess. I'm thinking is this the relation of Amarantha.
Loving in Tamlin. I really wish that Amarantha would come back to life.
ever since you said it, Allie, I'm like, yeah, that would be great. And then when we got to like talk about her a little bit again today, I was like, girl, I miss you. I mean,
Yeah.
sword through the forehead's pretty. And then doesn't Tamlin also rip her to shreds?
Tyrion was a freaking eyeball.
But
It was-
the cauldron's broken now. She broke. Can you finish Wings and Ruin? Like,
Have you made any progress?
No, but now
Alyssa, Claire, better.
I'm done moving.
Claire, better.
I'm done moving. Now I've got my new job. So I'll have to.
You're out of the mating frenzy.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah. Hopefully now I'll have time.
Cackling. I love it.
Also, Jimmy's cried again
I
today.
know. I
It's
can't.
so cute.
Like, I am a romantic, and these words wound me.
They're
deeply.
beautiful. Yeah.
Reminds me of The Office. You have wounded me. Anyways, cry in the office all the time, too. Hey, hoodly doodle. And that's where we're cutting off. Not because we're done, but because between the emotional devastation and absolutely feral sexy time and saving a city from dissemination, we need a mandated cool down period.
We do.
Next time, we're wrapping A Court of Mist and
Woo!
Fury, our second book.
Look at us.
It's not just the climax, it's the fallout. The kind where everyone's feelings are naked, the stakes are sky high, and the aftercare is non-existent.
So take a breath, hold on to your feelings, and maybe pour yourself something strong because the dreamers are about to face the cost of dreaming, and we are absolutely not emotionally prepared for the aftermath.
No. Just before that, one last thing. So imagine reading A Court of Mist and Fury and like what happens at the end. And then you had to wait for the third book. Feyre leaves with Tamlin and you're like, what the fuck just happened? I was thinking about that last night as I was laying in bed. I was like, what if we would have had to wait?
Oh, no.
Such a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I would have been. I would have been
Like, what would you do?
on SJM's doorstep. Hey! Hello!
You don't know me, but I'm barely waiting. We want to hear from you as we continue to build this little corner of our world and fall in love as we dive into fantastical worlds, fabulous folklore, and fine males and men. Follow A Court of Books and Babes Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and click the subscribe button. And please take 5 minutes to rate and review our podcast on Apple and Spotify and share it with all the babes in your life.
Until next time, stay bookish, babes. Yay! Oh my God, I can't believe we're done book 2 next episode.
That's cuckoo.
That is cuckoo. I'm proud of us.